Hello, my name is Rachel, and I'm going to talk about the self awareness theory. So, first things first, I'm going to give the textbook definition of the self awareness theory. So, according to the textbook, it defines the self awareness theory as the idea that when people focus their attention on themselves, they evaluate and compare their behavior to their internal standards and values. So, the way I comprehend that definition, in my own words and how I defined it, is that we look at ourselves. So we tend to take a look at ourselves and self reflect. So there are times where we think about ourselves after an external circumstance or situation that happens. So when I talk about external circumstance or situation, I can think of two examples that defines what that means. So, one being looking at yourself in the mirror, and then two, watching a video uh, of yourself that a friend took of you. So, while these situations are happening, you're in a state called self awareness. So, an example of self awareness, imagine this: you catch a glimpse of yourself smoking. So, how do you feel about this? It depends on your internal standards. Seeing your reflection will likely highlight whether your behavior matches your internal standards. So, what will you do? It depends on your internal standards. So, if your behavior matches your internal standards, then everything is fine and your behavior doesn't change. So, going back to the smoking, if you smoke and your internal standards um, tells you that it's okay to smoke, then everything is fine and you will continue to smoke and you'll be okay. You'll be okay with smoking. If your behavior doesn't match your internal standards, there are two options. So the first option being you can change your behavior to fit your internal standards. So this would look like if your internal standards would be like smoking is bad for you, you shouldn't smoke, but you do smoke, your behavior would change, meaning that you would stop smoking. So you would change your behavior to fit your internal standards. But on the flip side, if you can't change your behavior, being in a state of self awareness will be uncomfortable because you will be confronted with disagreeable feedback about yourself. So essentially, you will feel uncomfortable with yourself because your behavior and internal standard don't match. So some people will often try to escape this negative state of self awareness by avoiding looking at pictures of themselves, for example. So this is pretty much a summary of the self awareness theory. So thanks for listening.